Could Ohio State be on upset alert this week against Illinois? Nope. I can't see it. Jay Stevens, Locked on Buckeyes, is here. I have been a big Illinois fan all offseason, during the season. I stood by them in the tough times against Indiana. Picked them to beat USC because I knew it's still a good team. Here's the problem, Jay. This Illinois team, I've got enough data. They are not that good up front. They are not good enough in the trenches. I think this one could get away from them. I hope it doesn't because I want it to be close. I want Illini fans to get a great game. It should be an awesome day at Memorial Stadium. It is a generational opportunity for Illinois. It is a huge. I don't think their playoff hopes are on the line in this specific game, but boy, it's a massive opportunity. And man, I just cannot get behind. They're going to beat Ohio State.
Spencer, I'm pretty proud of you for not trying to be the guy that doesn't believe it's going to be an upset, but they're still trying to poke and prod and say it can be an upset. But coming out and saying they shouldn't be a team that can upset Ohio State, I think it's the right move, the right opinion to have, because the stuff in the trenches is one thing, but they also aren't the strongest defensively, where Ohio State is starting to figure some things out. Well, I won't say figure things out, more letting Sayin be the quarterback he can be. Get the ball to Smith and to Carnell Tate, to Max Clare. Eventually, the running game is going to come along, and I don't think it's going to be as strong as a passing attack, but the rushing game is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be strong for the team. Illinois is good. They have home field advantage. That's not enough to overcome what Ohio State's going to bring to Champaign.
No, and according to our friends at FanDuel, Illinois is a 14.5-point home underdog here. I think that's right. We'll see if I make it a best bet and place my curse upon Ohio State later in the week by picking them to cover that number. But when I watched the game against Indiana, they got pushed around. Yeah. USC, frankly, pushed them around quite a bit. They couldn't pressure Jaden Maiava, and their defense got exposed again. Their offense is just good. And that's a little surprising to me because when you think about Bret Bielema, you think about toughness, grittiness, physicality, winning in the trenches, right? That's kind of what they were last year. That's not what this team is. This is Hank Beatty, who's awesome, getting the ball from Luke Altmaier. They can run it pretty well. They do a lot of things on offense, but Ohio State probably has the best defense in all of college football. I have to give Matt Patricia his flowers. And by the way, I'm wearing this reddish color shirt by complete coincidence today as we do this segment, but I've got to give him his flowers because that side of the ball, to me, of the two new coordinators for Ohio State, which coming into the year, I was kind of going, can they be as good as last year? I don't know. Two brand new coordinators? One, okay, but two, Patricia's been seamless from the get-go. I think Brian Hartline has been good enough. I think there's a lot more to be desired on that side of the ball. But frankly, this is an opportunity. If Ohio State's offense struggles this week, that would be a concerning sign to me because of the teams that have moved the ball and the way they've done it against this Illinois defense. Ohio State, I thought Julian Sayin showed some real strides last week against Minnesota, who's a solid team, by the way, and Ohio State beat the crap out of them. I think if Ohio State looks up and wins this game, 20-3 against Illinois, I look up and go, that offense isn't where it needs to be yet to win another national championship.
Call me crazy, and I haven't put my final imprint on my score prediction. I can see this one being 42-3. And that's because of what Ohio State's offense can be, and their defense is traveling. We already saw what the defense did in Seattle, and I think it's going to do the same thing, if not better, in Champaign. I think the offense is the one thing where you mentioned it about Hartline, and you're correct. He's been good enough. Well, good enough is, 40 points against Minnesota? And it could have been more. It could have easily scored 56 or 63. And I'm not trying to be a homer. I'm just realizing a third one call where you call timeout, you end up putting your backup quarterback in for a QB run. Your backup quarterback goes to the wrong hole. If that is a scoring touchdown drive instead of a punt, look at Ohio State getting closer to 50 burger, and people are looking at this team and it's often saying, wow, they're figuring things out at the right time. They're getting hot at the right time. They're not matching the defense's execution because I don't think anybody can do that. The way the defense is playing right now, they're playing lights out. I've been saying it all the time, Spencer. This defense has been he's getting very close to me saying this is a very historic defense. I won't say it yet. They've only played 5 games. But if we get into game 6, 7, 8, 9, and teams are only scoring single digit in points and they're not scoring touchdowns, that's historic stuff. And that's what we're getting close to saying right now, which is why I don't believe the offense can match what the defense is doing. But they don't need to. If you lean on your playmakers, everything's going to be just fine, including in Illinois, where Illinois' defensive front is not going to get pressure on Sayin, which is going to allow these wide receivers to get open whenever they want to.
Well, and that's the interesting thing about this matchup. If Ohio State's defense plays well on the road against this Illini offense, which we know is good, it has been good all year except for the Indiana game. If they do that, then you do look at that side of the ball and say, what is there a ceiling? Is there a limit to what they can accomplish here? It's one thing to do it at home against Minnesota last week. It's another thing to do it on the road against Illinois. When the Illini's offense struggled against Indiana, I came away going, whoa, this Indiana team, hey, that's something real. That was also in Bloomington. This is going to be in front of what should be a packed house at Memorial Stadium in Champaign. And I do want to talk about Julian Sayin, because to start the year, it was okay. It was what was neat. It was Chipotle, okay? Chipotle serves a very specific purpose. It's solid. It gets the job done. But if you were trying to impress somebody on a date, you're not taking them to Chipotle. You're going to save, you got to have some options as a guy in your back pocket. Now we're getting into a dating podcast. Goodness gracious. And I am the expert. But let me tell you on that. But you got to have some other options in your back pocket. And I started to see that last week from Julian Sayin. But if I'm going to look at Ohio State the way I looked at them last year, I think the defense is right where the defense was a season ago. I think the offense is still a couple of steps behind. That's just how I see it. I'm not saying they can't get there. I'm saying they're not there right now. What have you seen from Ohio State's quarterback?
Oh, my gosh. He's had a phenomenal start. And I think when Ryan Day wanted to kind of ease him into the season, going up against Texas, you don't want to put too much on his plate. I feel like that was a right mindset. I am very critical of Ryan Day, including Brian Hartline, with how the offense has gone. I don't think you go into that game with a very complex game plan for a guy that's never started before against a team that it was the number one team in the country. He had the right game plan. Going on the road to Washington, I think they could have put more on his plate. But Ryan Day said first road game as a starter. It's a hostile environment. It's a very tough place to play. They hadn't lost a game there since, I think, 2021. So Ryan is thinking about all these things that could cause a young quarterback to fail. He hasn't failed anything. He hasn't really made the major mistakes you would think a young quarterback would make. And in game number 5, they were like, hey, let's open up the playbook. They didn't really lean on the run or try to run as much as they had previously. They said, let's get the ball to the playmakers. So he's been phenomenal with the team that's still trying to figure out who they want the lead back to be. I think I know who the lead back should be. I don't think the Ohio State wants to lean into who the lead back should be as far as putting the ball into Bo Jackson's hands. Julian Sayin has been phenomenal. He's been a lot of fun to watch. And I think with how he played against Washington and then how he played against Minnesota, the expectation is for that to continue. Be efficient, maybe standing in there and taking a shot while throwing a dart to Max Clare and showing, hey, I can stand here and take a hit while making the accurate throw that I've made all game long while the pocket has been clean. He has been phenomenal. He has been really surprising because I didn't expect him to play this good this early. And Illinois is going to be the next team to get hit by the Julian Sayin show because this is a fun show to watch. He's a very accurate passer. He processes very well. He knows what he's saying on the field, and that is translated in the conversations he has with Ryan Day on the sideline. I can go on and on about Julian Sayin because this young man has been better than advertised.
I think he could be in for a real breakout game this week. I really do. This Illinois defense, the secondary in particular, they've struggled. And I think Ryan Day and Brian Hartline, here's a golden opportunity to give him a serious confidence booster. But I'm not making my score prediction just yet. It's too early in the week for that. But yeah, I kind of like Ohio State big. Jay Stevens, Locked On Buckeyes, great as always. We're going to Waco next. Are we going to have a coaching vacancy? Are we going to have a Big 12 championship team? Nobody knows. No one has any idea. We're going to try and figure all of that out.